This is the Tip Network, where we help you level up
with self-improvement
with a little sprinkle of sarcasm. Okay, so I came across this article. I think it was in a Hard on Thoughts Facebook group.
Where do you find these groups? What are these groups that you go into?
Invited to them.
Here, just look at the info card over here after this video.
Yeah.
His secret Facebook groups. Probably one of our better performing videos in the early days. In the
early days. Actually, I got so many people calling me and be like, can you tell me how to get to these groups? This is a little article entitled "Ghosted After Spending $150 on Dinner." That's it. And so here I'm going to read it. So I tried to do it the right way. Met a girl on Plenty of Fish, asked her out. Took her to a lavish dinner at a fancy restaurant, let her order whatever she wanted, let her drink whatever she wanted. When the bill came, didn't hesitate to pay. After all that, she apparently didn't think I deserved to have a text message returned. Didn't have the decency to pick up the phone the next day. I finally realized she blocked me. As a man, dating makes me feel used. And just like that, I'm done with taking women anywhere nice or fancy. Never again. It's coffee or McDonald's forever until I get a commitment. It's going to be a long ass time. We can meet up and just go for a walk. We can get ice cream. I pay for mine. She pays for hers. For all the women out there wondering why men have stopped putting in this effort, it's because we all have stories like this.
All right. First, McDonald's right now, the inflation is going crazy. So it's not exactly a cheap date anymore, right? They open it up. We got to go through this play-by-play. Like, inflation's crazy. It's like $20 just to get like I swore to even get one meal. Open it up real quick. And I feel like this guy is kind of lying. $150 for a lavish meal? $150 like an appetizer over in San Francisco in the high-class restaurants.
Depends on where you're at, though, right?
So, okay, so where do you think this guy's at?
I mean, maybe he's in Iowa or somewhere.
$150? I mean, you can go to Kettleman's steak restaurant and that's easily $100.
Well, I tell you this, like when I was in Woodstock, Atlanta.
And I ain't rich.
When I was in Woodstock, Georgia, which is like a suburb of Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And I went to a steak restaurant, and I got a prime rib. I got a prime rib and all the fixings for like $40.
$40.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
relative to where you live.
It's relative to where you live. I mean, look, in the Bay Area, everything's expensive. So when I was reading $150, I was like, damn, was that just for you?
Yeah.
But he's probably a young guy too, right? First of all,
I tried to do it the right way.
Yeah, I tried to do it the right way. All right. And so, all right. So, look, first of all, you meet a girl on Plenty of Fish.
That's not the right way.
Yeah, Plenty of Fish, right? And and you asked her out, right? And you took her out to a lavish dinner at a fancy restaurant. So, rule number one, you meet somebody on a dating app and you talk back and forth and you go meet them somewhere. You don't go to a fancy restaurant. Mm. You don't go to a lavish restaurant right off the bat. What does she earn to go to a lavish restaurant just by meeting you? What you're doing is you're putting such a price on her company that you're saying your company, I mean, because it's all relative to the market. Be a manager about this and think about productivity and what you're paying for, right? And so you're telling her that her time is worth this. And so in her mind, she's like, okay, well, if I can get this from you, I can get this from everybody. Mm. So, and what is your vetting process?
And to be on that is you're the one that's going out there spending money on her out of your own free will and volition.
Yeah, it's not.
Is it really her fault or is it your fault because you're out here doing the utmost to get her attention?
And you got to take responsibility, right? So like I'm saying, like the first thing, so what's the difference? I can tell you that when I was talking to ladies off of dating apps, which, I had some success, when I would meet somebody, I'd be like, okay, well, look, here's a place. First of all, I'm not trying to take you out to dinner. Let's meet for lunch. Here's a place for lunch. I don't want to meet for lunch. Take me out to dinner. All right, then, hey, I'm just not the guy to mess with you.
She's trying to get a free meal for a lunch meal.
Yeah.
And then she's going to hop over to you.
Yeah, because you have to understand, man, there was a thing that they did on Tinder.
Yeah.
And like they did an anonymous anonymous survey, and 30% of the women said they go out to dinner with somebody with no sexual no idea having sex or hooking up with them at all, don't even like them, but hey, they're a free meal.
What about at least reciprocating attention? Yeah. Is that included in the study or mainly?
No, it wasn't. It was just like when you go out to dinner. Okay. And of course, when we're like, yeah, it's a free dinner, I'll go out with them, right? Mm-hmm. And so you do this. So don't get mad at her, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, let her drink whatever she wanted. When the bill came, you didn't hesitate to pay. Well, you asked her out. You shouldn't hesitate to pay. Like, stop acting like, the problem isn't that you paid for everything. The problem is that you paid for everything for a total and complete fucking stranger that you didn't know anything about, right? You didn't know she had any attention to you. And then she apparently didn't think I deserved to have a text message returned after. Well, man, I guess it's safe to say that date sucked. I mean, and maybe because I've been ghosted. I brought dinner before and someone had to talk to me before. It's happened.
But you got to chalk it up to the game, right?
Yeah, it's just
charges to the game.
That's
what it is.
It is what it is. So what's the alternative? What's your alternative? She can only have a Big Mac now forever?
Yeah.
You ain't even gonna take her to In-N-Out? You ain't even gonna fuck with In-N-Out. You ain't even gonna fuck with In-N-Out, right? You ain't even gonna mess with In-N-Out. You just go, nah, you just get Big Macs, 99-cent meal. 99-cent meal.
She can't get the animal fries.
You got
fries.
You know what? Look, this is how it is, baby. You wanna be with me? All right. Man. 6-piece chicken McNuggets. You get 3, I get 3. Everything's 50-50. That's the only thing I pay it for.
And we're ordering for the mobile app because there's deals.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, dude? And then you realize she blocked you. Hey, bruh, you thirsty bastard. She probably blocked you because you texted her 45 times after dinner. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she has to do something. Or maybe she's with another dude. It is what it is, man. You're dating.
This is my critique of some of the Manosphere content, the Red Pill type content, is that we don't get the full story of what he's done. Because I can fully admit that I've had some simpish behaviors in the past, and now looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, I was being a simp at that point.
Yeah.
And I should have seen the red flags and the fact that I was being too clingy or too needy. Like, you just got to identify those behaviors in yourself and then quell it or squash it quick.
And if I can already tell, like, $150, it's a lot of money for him. So if you're going to complain about
it's a lot of money for me.
Yeah, well, if you're going to complain about spending $150 on a date, don't spend $150. Be the man. You pick the restaurant where you go to. You could have spent $75 on a restaurant. You could have spent $50 on a restaurant. You could have went to a nice hole-in-the-wall Chinese food restaurant. Plenty of them. You know, at least there's plenty of them around where we are. And it could have been a nice restaurant where you could talk to her, this and that, and this. And if she didn't like it, she didn't like it. That's fine. That's no big deal.
In fact, you don't even want to be with a girl like that. The moment if she doesn't like something that you like, then that's already a note on why you shouldn't be still continue a relationship with her.
It's pay attention to the red flags. And then, as a man, dating makes me feel used. Hey, bruh, get out of your feelings. As a man, you get used all the damn time. Get out of your feelings,
you get used for your labor.
Get out of your feelings. It's like, guess what? As someone who goes to work every day, working makes me feel used because I feel like I should get paid a lot more. Yep. As someone who goes to pay gas, the taxes
pay less taxes.
Taxes make me feel used. Of course, that's life, right? That's
and life. Plus, it's also customary in at least pertaining to the United States. This is the dating game. You have to just charge it to the game and learn from the game and make yourself better and eventually try to become a superstar. Where I'm using an analogy here, it might come off really crappy. But to, I don't know, increase your chances of, I guess guys like this a lot, betting women and stuff.
Well, this is the stereotypical dude, though, who finds himself, he gets an airplane ticket after he saves up his money long enough and he flies to Thailand. And then he thinks because he stepped off of the airplane in Thailand and all these women are giving him attention, oh, I'm a superstar, this is my life, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, bruh, they want your money, bro.
How do you know these things?
Because I used to live there and I used to watch it. I used to just watch it. I used to just watch the game unfold. I was like the watcher. I was like the watcher on a what if series. I would just sit there and watch.
You were Uatu.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, and I was just watching the multiverse.
Yeah,
I was just watching everything, and I'd sit there and I'd be like, so this cat, he gonna get off an airplane. So right, I could tell you the whole lifespan. It's hilarious. You get off the airplane. And you're dressed way too hot because you come from a place where it's cold and you're pale. And then you go and you buy some clothes at the mall and you realize that things are super cheap here. Because you go to the open air mall and you're like, and they don't even negotiate. They're like, 200 baht for that shirt? Oh my God, that's a lot of money. And by the way, everybody who knows they're negotiated down to 75 baht. Or 100 baht, and it's like, okay, so you're already spending double, but you're always just happy that things are so cheap as comparatively, because you're not thinking in baht, you're thinking in dollars, or you're thinking in our pound, or you're thinking in Australian dollars, or whatever.
And I noticed in many countries or cultures around different countries, they do have a negotiation culture with their business.
They have a negotiation culture,
stores.
And they got a tiered culture. Yeah. They won't go lower for the Great Britain. If they know that, they'll ask you where you're from, and you say England, so they already know
they're pricing you by your location.
Right? They ask me where I'm from, and I said the United States. Man, if you go in there and say Nigeria, man, I've literally seen dudes go in there, African cats, and they just like don't even want to deal with them because they think they don't have money. And some of these cats are balling out of control. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, bro, this dude is like Omega. Like I was hanging out with this guy, and he was like super Omega rich, and I was like, and he's like, I don't understand why they act like that. And I said, bro, just tell him you're from the United States. And he says it, and he's like, no. He says, oh no. I said, no, you just have to negotiate. And I have to tell you, this Nigerian cat, I've never seen somebody negotiate like that before. He was like, he was getting stuff cheaper than I could get, dude. And I knew how much they paid for it. I was like, damn. I was like, let's go shopping, right? So anyway, so you go, you buy your clothes, these guys buy their clothes, right? And then they get a little sun and they get a little confidence. And all of a sudden, 2 days later, they know everything about it. They just know everything, and this is their life, and they're flying back 4 or 5 times a year, and the only relationships they have are you know, that type of situation, and it's usually P for P. You know,
so
P
spicy
for P
services,
pay for play, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like,
spicy services,
and literally these are the same dudes who told me, man, I take these women out, I give them everything they want, and they wouldn't talk to me, this and that, and it's like, bruh, it's not. You are who you were when you got there. If you don't have the insight to talk to somebody for a few hours and then say, hey, I want to meet you. You want to meet me? Cool. Let's go to this place. But like, what, you're going to take her for a walk in a park? That's your date? That's not it either. A cup of coffee? That's not it either. Why don't you pick a middle ground? Say, hey, I know this nice restaurant. Let's go here. Let's get order a sandwich for lunch. You can order whatever you want. Control the situation. You set it up. You take care of it. And then you know what happens? You can decide if you want to go out with her again. And if you don't want to go out with her, or if she balks at the restaurant because it's not expensive enough, then you already know you don't want to go out with her. You already know.
So you're pricing the date within your budget.
Yeah. Because if $150 is breaking you and you want to just say ghosted after $150, then don't spend $150. Well, how about ghosted after $25? Would that make you feel better? No, you're upset because you got ghosted after you spent time with this lady. That's what you're upset about. And saying that it makes you feel used, no, you're hurt because she didn't like you. Well, guess what? Women don't like you all the time. Go talk to another woman.
Didn't have the decency to pick up the phone the next day.
Yeah.
That's a tall order to demand someone to be picking up your phone call or whatever.
I'm reading this and it gives off that incel energy to me.
Does it?
Yeah, it gets off that incel energy, dude. I'm just
finally realized she blocked me. As a man, dating women makes me feel used.
That definitely gives me incel energy.
All right. And coffee forever until commitment. I mean, so now you're going to start limiting your options, your choices. If it's only coffee should be a great starter conversation, right?
Sure.
Like if you want to go that route, fine. But now to have a negative attitude and negative energy going towards it and ready assuming that's what the woman wants from you, you're ready pulling yourself away from the market because women can read on those subtle cues of your body language and they're much more adept at that. And they can pick up your vibe a lot quicker.
And look, like I said, I have stories where I've taken a woman out. Hey, man, I got stories that are horrible, dude. Like, I was taking this lady out. She got on a call on her phone and got in an argument with another cat while she was in my car. And I was like, are you arguing?
Is this happening?
Yeah, man, we pulled up to the restaurant. And I remember she pulled up to the restaurant and said, hold on 1 second. I said, just stay here, right? And she was in the car talking on the phone. I wouldn't cancel that reservation. It was just, she said, where you going? I'm taking your ass home. I can eat by myself, dude. I'm totally comfortable sitting in a restaurant by myself, but I'm not going to. And I can tell you the restaurant, we were going to Cha-Cha-Cha's at Haight Street, because it's like there used to be 4 locations in the Bay Area, and I was going to Cha-Cha-Cha's on Haight. I've had bad luck going to that Cha-Cha-Cha's. I went there 3 times, and every time there was an incident happened, I stopped going there, right?
I wondered the $150 that he spent.
Yeah.
Did she buy a second order of food to bring home?
Oh, that happened a lot, dude.
Oh, no.
That happened a lot.
That hurts.
Oh, man. No, I do know this cat, right? That he went out with this female.
Yeah.
And she ordered food, and she ordered to go bag. And then she told her, he's like, who's that to go bag for? And she's like, well, my boyfriend, he gonna be hungry when he get off work.
Oh, God.
So, like, but what I'm saying is that it's the game. You gotta chalk it up to the game. But this is your fault for letting this happen to you. Mm-hmm. You gotta be accountable, right? And you gotta be accountable to what's going on. You cannot control how someone acts. What you can control is allowing yourself to be around people who act bad. I say this all the time. It says, hey, I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. I'm just not going to be around. And when you build yourself up enough, when you're confident enough to understand that your presence is what's making this happen. My presence and your presence, well, I'm 50% of the equation. Not you're everything and I'm nothing. You're everything and I'm nothing. Well, guess what? You're going to get treated like nothing. But we're 50-50 in this equation. Once you do that, then, when you remove yourself, she understands that there's something missing.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the psychological terms, you have to have the internal loci of control, meaning that you need to stem all your actions from your own internal self. So if you're allowing yourself to be dictated and maneuvered by women, then you're putting your power out there and allowing your feelings, your mind being affected by other people and by situations. So having an internal loci center of control is very important for your mental health and for making better decisions.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I wanted to say is that for all the women out there wondering why men have stopped putting in the effort, it's because we have stories like this. And tell you what, this has happened to me plenty of times. And with your kind of attitude, there's more for me. There's more for me. So I'm willing to take the risk. I'm a risk taker.
Because the thing is that this person's not trying to learn from his mistakes. Yeah. He's not trying to glean anything from this. He's just like, you know what? I'm done. Well, all right. I'm not. I wasn't done it, and then it just breaks people's mind when they don't realize why they're not having luck. And same thing for women. It's just like we were talking on another video, and it's like, well, I can't get the guy I want. Well, because the guy you want don't want you. Maybe it's something.
It's something about you.
Yeah.
Like your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah,
how you comport yourself, how you conduct.
Yeah, this is 100% on this dude. Nobody made him spend $150, so I try to do it the right way. So who told you that was the right way?
So I'm gonna give it a little bit to him. The girl should have not done some of the things that she did.
Yeah.
But ultimately, as men, we have to be accountable and we have to be responsible because we're the one that.
I mean, here's the thing. You got to know that when you're going out there and you're meeting somebody and you don't know anything about them, that's a possibility. You just got to know. And you learned this. So I know people are going to be like, you're not holding any of the women accountable. And it's like, all right, calm down with the fake ass outrage. Anybody who dates has been out with a female and she ain't talked to you right after. And what you have to do is still keep figuring out how to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
And I tell you one thing,
you have to make self-correcting behaviors because the target that you really want to hit needs to be correcting all the other past mistakes first. And in fact, you got to just keep it moving. Why fixate on something that's happened in the past that's not going to help you in the future?
Yeah, and this fool was so upset and he's so emotional. He's like, it's coffee or McDonald's forever and until I get a commitment. We can meet up and just go for a walk. We can get ice cream. I pay for mine, she pays for hers. Hey, bro, you ain't even going to pay for her Baskin and Robbins? Yeah. Damn, homie. I mean, that $150 broke your ass. You probably damn near, he's talking like that $150, like he couldn't pay his rent. He was homeless. I mean, maybe you should build up yourself, work on yourself, get yourself into a position where you're attracting better people.
Yeah. And you know what? $150 is a lot for me, right? And you know what? My whole handling of my situation is become better.
Yeah.
Learn more skills. Put yourself in a position where you can earn more money over the long run. In fact, you got to sacrifice portions of your love life so you can get to that next step in your own financial improvement. Because it doesn't make sense to go out there and be going on dates with different women when you haven't put yourself in a stable financial place.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense. You're basically wasting your money away on experiences that are always going to end up becoming bad experiences because you basically don't have the right attitude, the right mindset, and are in a better financial place to be in those situations.
Right on, man. Yeah. Right on. Well, that's all I got for this. You got anything else?
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Apply pressure.
Yeah.
Apply pressure. That's my boy Moxie. He always says, I love saying it to that. When he said it, I was like, dang, I'm going to steal that. Apply pressure to that notification. Make sure it's all the way up so you can get all the latest and greatest from the THPP Network. You can follow me at I am Gorilla1 on the gram. You can follow this guy at
ScottT with 3 E's. All my other social media accounts. And links are down below in the description, as well as all of ours. And you can follow us on all social media outlets at consolidated at the THPP Network, THPP Network. And what's the question? What's the question of the day? Are you in the position to be dating?
Ooh, are you in a position to be dating? And other question I asked tell you is just ask yourself one burning question.
Can you handle the tip?
Boom, back at it like a crack addict, booty in your face.
Slaughter every sound. My sound, we slaughter every sound.